I hate that chord shape. I never use this chord shape. Ever. That one's dumb. No, I'm just kidding. Nothing's dumb. What's going on, guys? Dallas here. Real quick lesson on... I just wanted to talk about simple chord progressions and keeping things simple. We've talked a lot on this channel about, different ways to approach things as far as playing over changes. You know, you can view this. This is C major to D minor that I'm doing on the intro. And you can view this a few different ways. I want to talk about just viewing it the most simple ways possible. And to me, that's going to be just staying diatonic to C major, and now obviously all its modes, right? Now, obviously you can focus on where you're at in that groove. It's pretty easy to do since it's 2 chords. But I want to talk about just using all those notes available to you and just using your ear, right? Right, you don't really necessarily need to think, okay, well, this is a C, so I'm on the root note, and I want to make sure that I land it. No, like, my ear heard that. Like, I'm sure yours did too, right? I mean, you hear that. You don't need to think about that. So just use all these notes that you have available in the scale. You get it. We can go up and down the whole neck, but the point I'm making is that just use those notes. Well, everyone messes up a little bit, but you get the point here. I went all C7 on it. I was like, you don't want to do that. So, but getting back to it here, just keeping it simple. Now, your ear will hear that, like right there, for instance, right? Now that note is in scale, but it's that 7, right? It's the B. So it's not necessarily like a super favorable note, in my opinion. Not my favorite note to play unless you're like really looking to resolve something or like just certain situations. But that's why when we got to that, like your ear heard that. So my point is, you don't have to overly think this and think, okay, well, I'm on the C and I got to make sure the third is here and the blah, blah, blah. Like, just to me, a lot of guys on the internet get silly with that shit, man. It gets old because they're just not. I feel like they're overcomplicating things for people, especially for people who don't know theory or like are able to contextualize. They just hear that and they think, oh, that's the why I'm not sounding like freaking this guy or that guy, and it's really not. Like, to be honest with you, like, targeting chord tones is okay, but like, if you just use that method, like the Guthrie trap method, like, he's a good player, he's an awesome player actually, but like, he lies. He like gets on the internet and says like, oh, just learn what the chord shapes are and follow the chords. That's not what he's doing. Because if you just use root, third, and fifth, everything sounds vanilla as shit, and it's super boring. So, like, yeah, it's the right notes. It sounds sweet. Like, each note is, yes, you can come up with a very articulate solo that way, but it's going to have no flavor. It's going to be like cooking your steak, just cooking it, and, like, cool, it's a ribeye, and it's still good, but, like, don't you want to, like, marinate it and add in some this and that? You know what I'm saying? Like, actually give it some flavor, right? So I feel like all the other notes within the scale are the flavor notes, like the not necessarily the chord tones, and like using those notes to get to the chord tones sometimes. I mean, it's all well and good if you're trying to target notes to land on and you're really trying to emphasize like a chord movement or whatever it is you're doing. Like, there are reasons to use that philosophy more, but my point in this video is just using your ear just using your ear within the scale, and you're going to play this over a looper or a backing track and really toy with it, and just use all those notes. Those are all your flavor notes. You don't want to just stick to chord tones, right? In my humble opinion. And use this over, God, anything. I like to do Old Love by Clapton, which is like A minor, D minor, G major, and that's kind of a C major, as well, which is really a cool, more minor. So just take simple chord progressions at first, and this is obviously when you're beginning, you're probably not going to do the whole following the chords philosophy at first anyway. So use your ear, just use all the notes within the scale, even if that's in just one position, and just explore. And you'll hear when you're landing on chord tones, or when you're using a flavor note, or when you're using a flavor note like we talked about, that 7. That didn't sound so hot. It didn't sound wrong, but it didn't really sound right either, right? So you're going to discover all that as you go. So I hope that helps. Just a little start in maybe hopefully jump starting some ideas with just simple chords, simple lines within the scale, learning to just explore within the scale. Much love, guys. Like, subscribe, share. I'll see you on the flip. Peace.